They are hiding. Not your friends, not your family, not your colleague. You are hiding from yourself. And before this video ends, you will see what you are hiding. You might not be ready, but we are starting. Question: why are you being excluded? Because that's how they are. Because I am different. Because I'm just not that kind of person. But all of these answers exist to make you feel comfortable, and feeling comfortable is sometimes the beginning of the pain that puts you on the most dangerous path. I'm telling you, you might not want to hear this, but your heart already knows. The vast majority of people who are excluded are not excluded. What do you mean? Come with me. They are excluding themselves without realizing it, without telling anyone, without even admitting it to themselves. Stop it. Don't say, no, that's not me, right away. Because if you're still watching this video, there is doubt somewhere, and that doubt is precisely what this video is going to tell you. So how does this happen? How does a person unconsciously get themselves excluded? The answer to this question in a moment. I need to understand, how many years have you been carrying this cycle? 1 year, 3 years, or for as long as you can't even remember? Because this isn't a personality trait. It's something learned. It used to be useful even, and now it's a cycle destroying you. Imagine a group of people, they are laughing, talking about things. You are there too. Physically, you are there, but you're not fully in it. You're watching, observing, looking from the outside slightly, and then you go home and you ask yourself, why do I always feel this way? Do you recognize this scene? You didn't do this by accident. And right there, a mechanism kicks in. 3 parts: silent and most likely something you have carried your entire life. But before that mechanism, I need to ask you this: have you ever truly been excluded, or did you just feel that way? And the difference between these two is much bigger than you think. Most people experience exclusion as something ordinary, like the weather, like it's raining outside and you're getting wet, but you left your umbrella at home. On purpose. Exclusion rarely begins with rejection. It usually begins with protection. What do you mean? Come with me. The thing that protects you, building a wall, and this changes everything. Is there someone in your life right now you want to reach but can't? A friend group, a work environment, a relationship, a family dynamic? Question: who put that distance there? Silently, honestly. You know the answer. Most people think, I try so hard. No one reciprocates. But have you ever considered this? Maybe you are standing where people cannot reach you. When you are at the very top, you cannot climb. I love this saying. And the fact that you are doing this is not their fault. Are you uncomfortable? Good, because discomfort is the only door to change. Remember, a door that is only slightly ajar is not closed. Come, let me explain more clearly. Imagine, this time, smaller, quieter, more familiar. Someone is planning something. You hear about it. No one told you. And in that moment, something inside locks a door that is already locked. Locks it a little more. And you think, they didn't want me anyway. I'm not that kind of person anyway. That's just how it is. But have you ever considered, what if they just didn't know how to reach you? Teach them how to climb. People might not be excluding you. They might not be able to read you. And what they can't read, they keep at a distance. This isn't their choice. It's the result of the signal you give. What signal are you giving? Remember, I asked, how does a person unconsciously get themselves excluded? Here is the answer: by doing exactly this. By closing the door from the inside, and then being surprised that no one enters. Now stop. Take a breath, because everything I've said so far is just the surface. The bottom of the mountain is wider. Let's look at it from your perspective. The real question is this: why did you learn this cycle, and why did it become a reflex? Why are you the one closing the door from the inside? The answer to this question can either completely change you or completely paralyze you, because this answer doesn't blame you, but it does hold you responsible. And these two are very different things. You learned early that people leave or disappoint, or aren't there when you need them. And from that experience, you developed a skill, the ability to build a wall. Or at least that's what I call it. The skill of needing less, the skill of looking okay, the skill of being self-sufficient. It looks strong, but people feel this as distance. And here is the underlying layer. Once you see that layer, you can never ignore it again. Why does this reflex continue? Why can't you change it even when you know the answer to this question? Stop. People who chronically feel excluded have a very specific relationship with belonging. They want it intensely, but they almost never trust it. So they stay close enough to feel connected, and far enough to feel safe. The enoughs, and that precise, carefully guarded distance, is what other people feel as distance, not rejection. Distance. And distance, over time, becomes the shape of their relationship. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself. People aren't excluding you. They are reflecting your distance. Did you hear that sentence? Did you really hear it? People aren't excluding you. They are reflecting your distance, because people behave according to the signal you give them. And your signal says, I don't need you. You don't need me either. Silently, constantly. There are 3 reasons, not theory, mechanism, reflexes working in your current relationships right now. Come with me. Reason 1, you interpret ambiguity as rejection. When someone replies late, you don't think they are busy. You think, did I do something wrong? When a group makes plans without including you, you don't think they forgot. You think they didn't want to. When someone seems distracted around you, you don't think they are having a bad day. You think, I am too much or not enough. And here's the scary part. You don't just say this interpretation, you act on it. You believe it. Silently, you get a little colder. A little less reachable. You protect yourself from a rejection that hasn't even happened yet. I'm holding up a mirror. Look, someone texts you, light, easy, trivial. You read it 3 times. You spend 11 minutes writing a reply that seems natural. You send it. Hours pass. They don't reply quickly. And something inside you already knows, already decided, already started pulling back. That's That's exactly what I do, you say. And I call this the wall-building reflex. Yes, you guessed it. And this opens a wound that gets a little deeper each time, because every withdrawal makes the next withdrawal easier. Reason 2. You display self-sufficiency as pre-rejection. Before they exclude you, you exclude yourself. Before they choose not to invite you, you become someone who doesn't need an invitation. Before they see that you need someone to see you, you project an image they don't need to see. From the inside, it looks like independence. From the outside, it looks like she prefers to be alone, and people respect that preference. Be why leaving you alone. I'm holding up a mirror. Look, there's a gathering. People you know. You could ask, is it still going on? Can I come? For words, but you don't send them, because sending them means admitting you want to be there, and wanting to be there means risking an answer. You stay home, and silently, you get angry at not being included. I end something you never said you wanted to be part of. Asterisk, I did this more than once. And right here, the cycle feeds itself. You don't ask, they don't offer, you interpret as they don't want me. And next time, you ask even less. Reason 3, you expect people to prove themselves before you open up. Most people enter relationships with general openness. They extend trust first. They don't withdraw it unless necessary. But you work in reverse. You extend caution first. You wait, you observe, you give people small tests they don't know about. And if they fail that test, which they often do because the test is invisible, you file it as proof. Proof that this person is unsafe. Proof that being careful is justified. But what are the tests actually testing? Whether people can read minds, whether they can reach you from behind the walls you've built, whether they want you enough to break your silence. Most people can't do this, not because they don't want to, because they don't know the test is happening. I'm holding up a mirror. Look, someone new, someone who seems interesting. They make an effort. A few times they reach out, they initiate, they come. But something inside you remains slightly suspicious, slightly waiting, and eventually they stop trying. And a part of you thinks, see, I knew it. But you engineered that outcome. You just didn't watch yourself doing it. Asterisk, I called that trust. It wasn't trust. It was a trap. This pattern doesn't live in just one area. It moves like a silent current through your life. Here are those areas. Asterisk, at work. Asterisk, asterisk, you don't ask for help when you need it. You take on too much alone. You handle it, and people assume you don't need support. So they don't offer it, and you feel unseen. Asterisk, asterisk, in friendships. Asterisk, asterisk, once someone gets inside, you are warm and loyal, but getting inside takes a long time, and most people won't wait that long. Not out of cruelty, because they read your signals, and your signals said, I don't really need you. In family. Asterisk, you learned the role of the one who is okay early on. While others were complicated, you were manageable, and this role solidified. Now no one checks on you the way they check on others, because you taught them not to. Asterisk, asterisk, in your self-talk. Asterisk, asterisk, when you feel excluded, you don't ask, what can I do? You ask, what's wrong with me? Or, what's wrong with them? Either way, the question leaves you immobilized. It doesn't move you toward anything. Asterisk, asterisk, in decisions. Asterisk, asterisk, you mostly choose options that require less exposure, less vulnerability, less chance of being seen, less risk of being seen as someone who wants something. And then, you wonder why your life feels slightly smaller than you imagined. This pattern is not your personality. It is a protection mechanism, and it is protecting you from things that are no longer a threat. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself. The uncomfortable truth about the feeling of exclusion is this feels passive, like something done to you, like you were left out in the cold, watching others come inside. But for most people who feel it chronically, it is not passive. It is a choreography, a careful, practiced, unconscious choreography. You pull back slightly, others adjust. You interpret their adjustment as proof of rejection. You pull back slightly more, and this feels like being excluded. But from the outside, it looks like withdrawing. This is not blame. This is not judgment. This is a mirror, and the mirror doesn't judge what it reflects. But I want you to know this. Choosing to look in the mirror is already something ordinary people don't do. And you are here, looking. The uncomfortable truth underneath all this is simple. Almost too simple. You learned that being needed is dangerous, because when people know you need them, they have power over you. And that power was used at some point to hurt you, or to disappoint you, or to leave. So you neutralized that power by needing less, by showing less, by staying behind glass where it wasn't safe for them to see you. And it worked. No one has the power to truly devastate you, because you never gave full access. But here is the price. No one has the real ability to reach you either. For the same reason, the people who feel the most excluded are often the most skilled at maintaining distance. The ones with the wall-building ability, not consciously, not deliberately, but through 1,000 small decisions made in the name of self-protection. A message not sent, a feeling not shared, a need not voiced, an invitation not asked for, a door left closed from the inside, and then the quiet ache, the feeling that no one comes, the feeling that no one chooses you, the feeling that no one reaches. But the door was closed from the inside. You are not being excluded. You are being believed. People believe the version you carefully built, the version that doesn't really need them, the version that is okay, and they respect that version by leaving you alone. And now I need to ask you the real question, not the question from the beginning of of this video. The question underneath, why don't you change? You see this, you recognize parts of it. Maybe you have for years, but the pattern continues. Why? Because behind the wall is lonely, but it is safe. And safe has been the only familiar feeling for a very long time. And what is familiar, even if it hurts to change it, always wins. I left a question at the beginning of this video. I didn't answer it. I didn't need to. Why are you being excluded? Now you know the answer. Not because I told you, because you recognized it in yourself, in the scenes, in the patterns, in the small, familiar moments that couldn't be coincidence because they were too specific. You created part of that distance, silently, carefully, for very good reasons. Reasons that made perfect sense once. And there is something this video cannot reach. A deeper layer. Why, even when you recognize this pattern, can you still not change it? This isn't just about awareness. This is about your belief that staying behind the wall is the only honest way to survive. This is a thread worth sitting with. One question remains. Question I didn't ask. One you asked yourself. If you slowly, quietly stop closing the door before someone can reach, what do you think you are really afraid of? You already know the answer, and you don't like it very much. In the next video, I will talk about you. Subscribe to my channel and find more content for yourself.